where a road is supposed to be built, where the need is. The RX is supposed now to give us the maintenance aspect, how bad the road is. So this is how the budget is supposed to come in. The president is not even supposed to wake up any day and tell us that I'm going to allocate money to this project. No day. Let's go to first world countries. Have you ever seen any president announcing that today you're going to allocate a certain
roadside declarations?
It is not done to it. It's not done that way.
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
So when you look at Uhuru Highway, the expressway, my father is also an engineer, the late engineer Kimori.
Oh, okay.
They expressed that that project was needed as early as 2006. That was one of the Kibaki's projects. Thika Highway came in, then Uhuru came and as he was implementing the Vision 2030, I'm giving you an example of how specific things are implemented. If people can check the Vision 2030,
yes,
part of it, you remember even when Honorable Raila Odinga was campaigning, he was talking about, in 2007, he was talking about infrastructure.
Correct.
Right now, we have built so much in the country that we need. It is now a matter of now maintaining.
Correct.
And maintenance is expensive.
Of course.
Very expensive. Now, how can you maintain a road that has already stalled?
Right.
You make it worse. Look at a road like now that you went in Emilio Odhiambo's constituency.
Yeah.
The road that connects Mbita to Sindo to Kiabuya. The road has a valley within a road. It is a sad state.
That's very unfortunate.
We went to another road in Ukwala Ugunja. The road is so unsafe in terms of now the safety of the bridge that is there. After we visited the road in 2 days' time, in fact, the next day, the regional manager in Kenya, Nyanza region, a good friend of mine, ordered immediately for closure of that road for the old bridge to be used. So it is a matter of taking responsibility where you are serving the citizens. Systemic reforms. That is what you are calling for. Systemic. I don't need to call anyone to give me a birth certificate. Same applies to an ID. That's what you call a systemic reforms.
All right, hold it right there. 10.
Engineer Evans, State House through its spokesman has first of all commended what you guys are doing, but also they have said that most, if not all, of the projects that you guys have launched were projects under the previous regime. And for that reason, don't you guys think you should maybe cut the president some slack because of that? Because they say they do acknowledge, yes, that some of these projects were launched when he was deputy president.
It is of equal measure. The president, he was the deputy president then, with full powers. Full powers as the deputy president. And most of these roads, why was it launched by the president, the deputy president then? Do you know most roads were launched? And that is how he went deep into the grassroots. By launching roads.
Well informed on our road structures in the country.
Then, you see, the beauty about this, I was in Kenya National Highways Authorities. Part of those letters, I wrote them.
In the previous government?
Yes. I was there. So I knew which road was going to be launched. And do you know, when the president comes to launch a road, Kenya releases 20 million. You're not talking of Kera and Kura. To launch the road, pesa ya chai, ya kuweka tent, ya kupea contractor 4 million to grade. So look at 20 million times. Look at maybe he launches 100 roads. He has 20 million has been released. Look at that kind of money. It can make a development somewhere. And in fact, have you ever seen in any country like developed countries a president launching a road? That's what you're calling systemic. Systemic. You're talking about the president currently, about it was the previous regime.
Because they've said that.
Was he not there? Now he's the president. Why is he launching other roads?
So let me ask you.
He should concentrate on finishing the previous roads that were launched when he was the deputy president.
Evans, let me ask you, when all is said and done, because clearly it's quite shocking what we're seeing on the ground. I mean, these politicians, whatever they're doing, it's like they're taking us for a ride, you know? But what's the end game between yourself and the team that you have, including Morara? So what's the intention? What do you guys hope to achieve when all is said and done?
First, we are going to educate the people through civic education. The people should understand what happened. Through educating the people, through civic education, they'll understand better. Of which we are doing. We even addressed people in Kondele.
Yeah.
If you saw.
Yeah, of course.
They were very happy to see what we are addressing.
Yeah.
The second game, we will not join their game of parties and political. We are not even interested in politics right now.
Or right now.
But
Yeah, okay.
just in case we find ourselves there,
Yeah.
we will create a very serious movement. We don't need even to have a political party.
So as of now, I saw Matara and of course yourself.
Yes.
Somebody donated an SUV. So the intention is to traverse the whole country,
The whole country and
make
have
people
a
aware of
mazungumzo mtaani.
civic engagements.
Civic engagements.
All right. So do you have a bunch of other Kenyans who are willing to join
Yes.
this movement?
Yes.
What does it? What does it?
By
look
just contribution alone, they have joined.
like? Uh-huh.
By just contribution, and it is serious.
Yes.
When you look at during Maandamano, how much money was raised? More than 50 million. Just 10 bob. Give me, that is an indicator of people willing
Yeah.
to find good leadership. And as we are going to civic education,
Yeah.
the whole country, we are changing the connotation of where leaders spend money on election.
Yeah.
It is the duty of the leaders to be identified that you as a leader go and lead us. We don't need you to spend money.
So let's just make something clear. It's not just the national government and the projects that they supposedly launch where we're seeing monies that are lost, but
It goes
also
down to
county
county level.
government.
Yes, at the county
There's
level.
so much corruption.
You see, who is the mother of all government institution? Who is the mother of launching projects other than the president himself? Mr. President, who is known for launching projects,
Roadside declarations.
roads, and that is
Yeah.
where the money of the government, sometimes other than agriculture, is.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
So now we saw a tweet, and a post on X.
Yes.
Where Morara was talking about, he needs an office in a very secure environment where he can engage with Kenyans. Alikuwa anasema he's getting about 600 to 800 calls in a day.
In a day,
from
it goes to even 1,000.
Wow, look at that. I mean, it's very impressive. You guys are very popular, and you're getting traction. You're getting traction, especially from younger Kenyans. But again, he deleted that post. Apparently.
On X.
On X. I don't know why he deleted it. Why do you think he deleted it?
No,
Maybe you can speculate.
To me, we didn't need to speak about our individual perspective, what we are going through. So I think we should now concentrate on what is really affecting these people, on informing how we are going to transform this country, even if it is to create an independent system whereby if I decide to vie, I don't need to. The constitution is very clear. I don't need to join any political party. You can have independent Gen Z reforms, IGR. If you are a Gen Z who we have identified and the people have identified you, you become part of the terrain. Even if you have an independent president who will be elected by independent-minded people, who will lead independently in terms of pro people without having capturing parliament.
So this is just a Gen Z situation.
So
You guys, it's just it's funny. My friend was saying the problem with some of these movements. You look like you ageists. A mutaki could deal with the older Kenyans.
No, we respect those are our fathers. Like someone like His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga. He's a person who is known for the constitution. The constitution of this country cannot be mentioned without mentioning Baba. So we are not trying to
Isolate other
even
Kenyans.
abuse them or what.
Or isolate.
Even isolate.
Yeah. So you're open to working with, of course, older Kenyans, our fathers, and that whole
Definitely.
group.
Even when God was trying to enter Israel, do you know where he sent Moses first? Go to the Bible and read. He told them, go to the elders. Go to the elders.
Yeah.
To the elders and speak to the elders who will now transform the information to the
So this is a very inclusive
So
movement.
to me, it's very inclusive.
Okay.
Me, I think having a caravan that is for the Gen Z, everyone joins. We have an independent Gen Z reforms, IGR.
Yeah.
So basically, we are not. We are not even interested in politics for now. I'm telling you, we are not.
It brings the question.
That's why even at the ground, we're not even being asked for money.
I think you're just playing politics right now. But I feel like the main goal is power, politics. Getting into elective politics.
Yeah, he actually now brings the question.
Personally, I'm a politician.
Exactly.
I can't help but think about something. A few weeks ago, on one of the local stations interview, Morara said that he had gotten a call from the president, and he at the moment is not interested. But one would think, if you guys are really sincere and honest about calling out the government on stalled projects, then why would it be so difficult to at least maybe work with government in terms of you guys have seen, have noticed, and you'd report to government, say this is what is happening and this is what needs to be done as per what we advise?
Will they listen? Will they listen?
Government invited you for a conversation.
Because they did.
Dialogue.
How many people have been invited in government? Even there are people from ODM who are in government.
Correct.
So being in government, from a political point of view, it is to capture. President Ruto is known for capturing. He has captured parliament. You know, myself and Morara Kebaso, even you look at our political history from the university leadership, it is not easy to buy us. We are people who go head on. So we want systemic reforms. That is the point.
Today, the president, through the office of the government spokesman, says that they'll embark on a similar project like you guys, only to inspect projects that have been launched by the president, in order to give a report maybe on those that are stalled and those that need work. Do you feel like this would work?
Those are scapegoats. The president decided to go to China to get a loan, 40 billion, to complete some projects. Do you know the president does not need 40 billion? He needs to allocate approximately 500 billion to finish his stalled projects. Do you know that? So he's playing, to me, he is going to play money with the 40 billion to say that, you see, the contractors come back to site, kesho, tutatenga ingine. So these are somehow, we don't need to have even a conversation with the president. Let the president work. Today, the DCI, if you are doing a wrong thing, the DCI could have summoned us. Why are they not summoning us? We explain how corruption has been eaten, or the money has been eaten. Why are they summoning bad people? They should also summon good people so that we give them information on what we have. I think how sometimes the systems can be used.
Let me ask you something. If you look at even this type of conversation that we're having, of course, is gaining traction. Many young Kenyans engaging in civic conversations, and that's a good thing to me. But we're talking about the politics of Maandamano. The energy in the country right now is Wakenya wamekasirika. There's many Kenyans who have lost faith in our governance system, in State House to deliver for us, especially younger Kenyans, economically liberate us. Guys are like, you know what, tungoje to 2027, we vote in somebody different, isn't it? But, you know, when I look at how people like you, Morara, Casmuel, Kina, many other young Kenyans who get out there, I get the impression that some people usually just take advantage of this wave right now, this revolutionary wave, to pursue their own agendas, when in real sense, you've never done anything, even in leadership, for example. You don't have any evidence of something that even something unique that you've even created, maybe in school, that we can say, okay, fine, this is somebody who knows issues to do with governance. We can even trust him with the leadership of this movement, right? That say, so earlier we were saying, where is even Caswell?
Right now.
So maybe Kenyans, maybe you guys are just taking Kenyans through a wave. You're just taking us for a ride, riding on our emotions, because people are automekasirika, and so now you think that you deserve
the right words and the right things to use.
You probably think, we can just tell Kenyans to changeni pesa. One day maybe we're going to be your political leaders. Maybe it's a bunch of you guys who are actually taking advantage of Kenyans' frustrations.
That's a very good point you have put across for us to have a clarity. Leaders emerge. Malcolm X, during the 1960s, when he was leading the Black Revolution, he emerged. There is another radical Patrice Lumumba, he emerged. Look at Abraham Traore. It requires one person to emerge. So, whatever you have said, I'm sure many people might be worried. Who is this guy? Who are these coming out now? For sure, time will tell. Time will tell.
Yeah.
And time will tell in this aspect. As time goes, you will be able to see, are they also fighting within themselves? Are you getting? So, if fighting within themselves in a greedy way shows your character, that's one. Second, what are you advocating for? You see, the Kenyans themselves are giving out their money for civic education to be done so that the country can be changed. Do you remember the time of Kibaki? People are willing to go and pay taxes they have not paid so that the country can be reformed. Kenyans are very good people. It is just that we don't have good leadership.
Okay.
So to me, I am sure it's a question that has lingered so many times.
Yeah.
And people usually take advantage about these situations of youth movements, youth what.
Exactly.
Let me go back to history. There is no youth group that has ever carried out a presidential campaign except YK92 since independence. Do you know why? It is a time bomb for the youths to unite. The elders usually view it as a danger to push them off the political stage.
Yeah.
So to me,
I agree.
You can kill us, you can assume us, you can dismiss us, but you cannot kill, assume, or dismiss an ideas whose time has arrived.
Because that makes me think about something. We're in a country whereby we have politics that have a structure and a system.
Yes.
There is how Kenyan politics has always been. But seemingly now, moving forward from now, after Maandamano, it seems like there is a new wave and there is a change into how Kenyan politics are now going. Do you feel like, one, it's a transition to a new style of politics or a new culture of politics or new systems of politics? And also, is it an end of an era in terms of the political systems that have been there?
What is happening here today is a generational change. You know, a generational change cannot be removed by money. Giving an example, when you have a generational change, and that is one thing I want to tell you, if today as Engineer Kimori I decide to go against my generation and join the old bandwagons, they will remind me that, engineer, you are not with us. So it is very dangerous even for us to do all this civic education. Then you turn around and take money from maybe the status quo that is happening there. Guys will turn around us and
let me ask you.
It is bad.
I get your point, but bro, politics has to be inclusive.
I agree.
You cannot tell me that, oh, you know, if my people see me talking to the older generation, they're going to cuss me out. No. Even the formation of a political party requires you to be very inclusive.
There are structures.
Kuna wamama waze, kuna wababa, kuna PWDs. There's different people from different quarters of society. So if you're telling us, okay, simply, since we're talking all things politics, do you think a Gen Z-backed candidate can actually topple a coalition or an alliance between Ruto and Raila as it is right now? Is that what you're telling me?
Hands down. 8 a.m. in the morning, guys are home.
So just
the reason as to why I'm saying this, do you remember?
So if Morara was to be on the ballot,
you sound very confident.
So if Morara was to be, you or Morara was to be on the ballot, you just need Gen Zs.
Can I tell you?
Is that what you're telling me?
Look at the statistics. The registration of voters. Who are number one in terms of registration? Gen Z.
The youth,
But
number one.
But
look at if today you ask me a question which I need to respond, we go to the ballot and Kenyans have contributed to the Gen Z and we have a face, even if it is a dog.
Come on, bro.
Who is on the ballot? I want to juxtapose it with the hustler narrative.
Oh, fine.
That came and it was very difficult to remove the hustler narrative.
The hustlers weren't young guys only.
No. Yes, you're not saying that it's not about young. It's a narrative.
Yeah. Okay,
there was
it's a mindset.
Hustler narrative.
It's okay,
that they say now we are going to form government of hustler.
Ya Mama Mboga.
Ya Mama Mboga.
Yeah.
And the guys walked kumira. They voted in.
Yeah.
Whatever the case, even if it's 200,000 votes, they voted a person who has never contested for a presidential election. And
His first attempt.
His first attempt. Remember, the Gen Zs have died. Some have been abducted. Do you know it connects with the parents?
Are you
the parents who are at home?
You guys, we've been seeing our parents dying.
Yes.
Stressed out and poor, broke. So Gen Zs are angry.
It's a reform that I wonder how or which language will the president convince. I'm even hearing that the IEBC, I'm hearing that they're not going to put up a new registration
for a Gen Z-led party.
No, leave alone
for voters, for the voters.
They're not going to open it up. Do you know what we will do? We will put Operation Feature ID for the Wazazis, so that the Gen Zs who are on the ballot to vote as per their wish.
Sounds easy.
It's aura for aura.
Bro, let me ask you, fast forward. Let's switch some gears. Let's talk about Raila. The other day we saw a bunch of heads of state.
Yeah.
They went to State House and they officially launched the, Raila's bid. His campaign for the AUC position. How do you think he will fare on?
Raila Odinga, who is a person that I highly respect, and is a person that I wish him well on this geopolitics of the African politics. But according to me, I feel President Ruto needs Raila out of the country.
Oh, you think that's the plan, huh?
Yes. It's a game. It's a game that is beyond common mwananchi. So
that what? Needs him out of the country so that what?
In Raila being in this country and politics goes this other side in terms of now, he has been the father of opposition. And in a nutshell, President Ruto wants a quiet presidency with little noise. The way the handshake government was, there was
for Uhuru and Raila.
No, Kibaki
and
you're talking about the Kibaki
one. Sorry, the Musumkate.
Oh, okay.
And to me, that is the game the President Ruto is playing.
Yeah.
And Raila is not even the issue now. The issue is the Gen Z.
He's more worried
the quagmire
about the Gen Z.
Who are the leaderless and the radarless. The president needs to be wise like Moi in this aspect. The president thought he can rule this country from State House and assume the provincial administration, which Moi had installed some serious roots to the grassroots, and it can give him very serious intelligence. At the extent that the president was now using the MPs to get information to the grassroots. As an MP, he will come and tell him his interests that I need this to be done here and there. But as a provincial administrator, like a chief, he will tell you how he was trained to inform. I'm hearing he called the provincial administration structure recently in State House because he realized he cannot do without them.
So let me ask you, back to Raila, for example, now that we saw the president Ukoivo Nyanza launching projects, he's clearly given some ODM bigwigs, actually the ODM leadership, he's given them ministerial positions. If at all Raila gets this AUC position, does that mean that it's obvious, it's natural that the president will inherit Raila's followers, constituents?
As long as Raila is alive, even if he's in the AU, as I right, they will go right.
So it's not a given?
It's not a given. He's playing the politics, he's trying to galvanize and become a kingpin in Western.
Including Luo Nyanza.
Yes, Luo Nyanza, by giving Raila AU, he will assume that Raila will give it back for him in 2027. And you see the Gen Z will now call them that it's Wazes against the young generation.
You really believe in this Gen Z thing?
Yes, because who has ever entered parliament? Who has ever entered parliament?
It's true.
No.
Where?
Yeah,
Gen
man.
Zs.
Huh? Do you remember how the president came out with his first speech?
Yeah. You think Gen Z will actually vote this time, huh?
It will be.
You think
it will
they're
be-
motivated?
In fact, me, I want them to spend.
Yeah.
And they give money, even if it is 10 shillings, to their local MCA. Let's start with the MCA.
Yeah, exactly.
We go to the MP, they give him 20 bob. We go to the senator, they give him 30 bob.
Yeah.
Governor, they give him 50 bob. By the time they're reaching the presidency. eh?
I like your confidence, bro. Unapatia
No, it is
wase
serious.
hope.
We did it in the university.
Yeah.
And it was convincing intellectuals in the University of Nairobi.
Yeah.
KU Morara Kebaso was there.
Yeah.
We are now speaking with villagers who are at home, who are our mothers. We are asking them, where do you want us to go? We are doing civic education.
Let me ask you, bro, back to this AUC conversation. You know, I feel like, because I was so disappointed when I didn't see Uhuru at State House. Huh? But my question is,
Uhuru is a retired.
Uhuru, even if he's a retired president, he was our president for 10 years. And what that means, he has friends all over the continent, right? They mean they trust him a lot more than even probably Raila. Raila has not been in continental politics. Now, my question is, is there any danger of ignoring Uhuru when it comes to this campaign for Raila to get the AUC? Would it actually come to bite them? Mukombele wasema, damn, tungitumia Uhuru kufanya hii campaign, right? Because it now feels like Uhuru has been put on the back seat. Is that a wrong strategy?
Either way it goes, there's a feeling that I have. That's why they didn't involve the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. He was not for it.
He was against Raila's candidature.
Yes, he was against it. Because I think there is something Uhuru knows that we don't know. You see, that's a former president who has been interacting. He was actually a former chairman of EAC. So there's something he knows. But Uhuru and Raila are very good friends. That's what I can say. It is now Raila to convince Uhuru. I agree with you. Mambo ikichomeka wanasema, bana, ndugu yetu si angekuja. But now, there is Kenya, which somehow look like other than Nigeria. We have a capital city here, and Kenya is the way we are known to be aggressive. We have a very good country. So, this Kenyan politics can never be underestimated. To my opinion, I don't think Raila will leave Kenyan politics the way he's saying.
You guys, I've seen your pictures around. Even the person who gave me your number is somebody who is affiliated to ODM.
To ODM.
So you're technically affiliated to Azimio, right?
As I've never been in any.
You're in the ODM Youth League, right?
I have never been in any other political affiliation other than ODM.
Oh, fantastic. So you're the right guy for this question, because I was thinking, now that Raila technically, quote unquote, generally licheki kwa paper wamesema Raila exits local politics. You saw it, eh?
Yes.
If he actually exits, even if it's just for 4 years, who's running Azimio?
Raila is very sharp. Even if he gives someone to hold the position.
Or even ODM, who's running the affairs?
Exactly. Even if he gives someone to hold the position.
Yeah.
The person must consult Baba in any decision he makes.
Of course.
So, there is no ODM without Baba. The organs are there, but the right... in our Kenyan politics, even if you look at the presidents who are there, the president is the face. Then he creates a very serious fanatic movement like the Hustler, and the guys join and they die there. That's how Kenyan politics is.
Very personality based.
Personality based. That if this guy exits, it's gone. So ODM, for them to survive, they must put a very serious restructuring systems and involve the youth. If not, they are going to have a rude shock, because historically ODM has been known to be run by the Wazes.
Wenye party.
Yes, so they need to put up a very systemic reforms inside there. Yes.
Would you advise people like Kina Babu, and yourself, maybe right now it's probably the right time to leave ODM? Join the Gen Z movement, start something like a political party, charter your own path, start a something unique that relates with the youth of this country.
You know, leadership is a calling.
Is this the right time?
Leadership is a serious calling. And one thing I can tell you, entering ODM is easy. To leave ODM.
I like that.
To leave ODM.
Kutoka Ninkumu, I like that, you guys. Are you serious?
That's a
Why
movement.
is it? Yeah, because it's the biggest party anyway.
To leave ODM and start putting your command.
Impossible.
It is possible.
So you guys, you're not going to leave anytime soon, huh?
No, you see me, I am now advocating what is right.
While you're in the party.
No, being in the party is under Article 30. Let me show you. Let me read you for you the Article 36. Every person has a right to freedom of association, which includes the right to form, join, or participate in the activities of an association of any kind.
Correct.
That is Article 36.
Yeah.
Today, Raila is going to AU. There are so many political orphans he live around.
I agree.
So many. Do you know Raila? If today Raila, how many people eat through the name of Raila? Just having a photo with Baba.
90%.
Having a photo with Baba. Or
Very
even just
many.
calling Baba and he receives a call and say, hey, my friend.
Niko na watu hapa.
How are you? That's enough.
Yeah.
So Baba is Baba.
Yeah.
Let him get his respect. But for instance, today, as a politician who is of age, when will I contest with my intellectual capabilities? Will I just remain and say, hey, you know, when? Politics is emerging. If the time comes that is ripe, well and good.
Yeah.
We form government as the youths. We form government and we put the right people there. President of Senegal, the guy is young. He is doing systemic reforms. Abraham Traore.
Why is the president finding it so hard to deal with the Gen Zs? What's the problem?
The Gen Zs know him.
Well, let me just say young Kenyans.
Yes.
Yeah.
We know him. Do you know they told Baba, go home? Because they know Baba. But they didn't tell the president anything else, but they told him, resign. The clarion call was, resign.
But don't you think?
It's difficult to deal. I have not answered your question. It's difficult to deal with a person who lies.
Of course.
That's the problem.
So my question now is, even now the formation of the broad-based government, tomorrow the president doing all these town hall meetings, you know, the president is clearly saying now, you know, I have to finish all these projects. Isn't that a step in the right direction in order to gain the trust that younger Kenyans had in him initially? Isn't he doing the right thing?
He's doing the right thing, but it has not yet been done. He returned cabinet secretaries that he fired. By just that, the Gen Z developed a cold foot. He needs, the president's word should mean something.
Yeah.
The president's word, do you remember the times of Moi? The president's word should mean something. If today the president says that yellow, that wall is supposed to be green, then you paint it yellow. So it is something that, and remember the Gen Zs, look at now the education system model, the education funding model. Look at SHIF, the health model of I don't know what. So you see, the Gen Zs were brought up by Kibaki's system of free education. Then they are here surviving in a very difficult economy. Personally, I have traversed this country. It is difficult. It is difficult. They are now going to separate the gap between the middle class and the lower class. The middle class are the most affected. That's why you find them drinking so many in the clubs. They are under stress and duress. So you'll find them, survival has become very difficult. Our neighbors here in Uganda, at least we can say, you see guys even at the border, they are moving to Uganda to trade because the Kenyan economy is very difficult.
Do you think there's going to be another Maandamano anytime soon?
No, it will not be anytime soon.
Now people are just going to wait for 2027.
No, there's 2026 finance bill.
Correct.
There's a finance bill. We just need a trigger. The president needs to be keen. You know, the president doesn't need to call rallies. You know, the president thought that people were not informed enough about the finance bill. That's why you are seeing the president has turned the country into a campaign mode. That's not how the president should act. The president should... People read.
Yeah.
They read.
Guys are informed now.
They are informed. They're informed. It's not a one media station like the way it used to be. They're informed. They read. There's TikTok.
Social
they check.
media.
They compare what President Al-Sema nini. So by the time guys are saying and reject the finance bill, they have read.
They're coming from an informed point
You
of
see,
view.
you can have a good document, but now one piece of information, just that one article that you need now to tax or to bring seeds and sell to the people. Then they plant seeds which our grandfathers used to harvest. I'm hearing there's a first world country which have collected seeds from all over Africa. They are now coming to bring bills in Africa, and then they sell the same seeds to us to go and plant. So you see such things Gen Zs and millennials know. So the president needs to love his country, for sure.
Yeah.
Presidency is just 10 years. You remember this administration, there's a point they reached. They were not even talking about 10 years. They were talking about changing the constitution.
100%. Tim, do you have a question?
Yeah, I do. Back to the Maandamano and the Gen Zs. You've said something might happen soon to intrigue another Maandamano. Looking at what happened after the series of Maandamanos, it was said that Gen Zs were their own biggest undoing for the lack of a political formation. That's maybe parties. And this thing that Gen Zs said vocally, that we are leaderless and we are tribeless. We're looking at the formation of structures in terms of political structures for Gen Z in the near future. Are we looking at maybe a formation of a party for Gen Zs?
That's a very good question. To me, the Constitution has given us a very good leeway. Someone can vie as an independent candidate. We don't need a party. I can go to the people, sell my policy, and they decide if they are not only going to elect me, but contribute to my candidature. So a party, those are stories which are created by the people who don't want reforms in this country. So the Gen Z can decide to form independent Gen Z reforms. It becomes a coalition of independent candidates. So if you're an independent candidate, you see you are right, and your personality with clean records under Chapter 6 of integrity,
Yes.
you be elected and you have majority of independent MPs, senators, and an independent president.
Right.
But one may say that if you look at what happened after the series of Maandamanos by the Gen Zs, very many of their grievances, one may say, were not sorted.
Yes.
And part of the reason as to why is now the lack of a formation in terms of structures. Aren't we looking at a Gen Z that will always be bent in terms of getting their way whenever it comes to now the negotiating table?
You know, the Gen Z and the millennials are very bright. They know what happens when you form a party or reform a leadership.
Political structures, yeah.
Yes, when you form such things, you are, even if you go even to parliament, you are reminded you came here through a certain structure. You are supposed to align through a certain structure. You will be reminded you don't even know the toilets of parliament. You are just new here. You will be reminded. You will be told intimidating things. They know that. That's why why should the president have a conversation with the Gen Z or the millennials? Why should he have a conversation? You see, the president had the best chance to reform this country without thinking about his friends. He was supposed to wake up and say enough is enough and give an executive orders. Like now the president's delivery unit. Do you know there's a unit called the President's Delivery Unit? PDU.
Yeah.
It is a very serious organ that can inform the president without any other system informing the president about the projects in this country. And that unit alone can be able to systemic help the president do a very serious budget where the projects are without being informed by an MP there.
Yes.
He'll be able to have good information. And this is something that the previous regime were able to achieve without being able to be misinformed. You know, misinformation is one of the things that really undermines the president. Having a president's delivery unit at the organ of the presidency, leave alone the ministry, they report direct to him. He can call a president delivery maybe in Lamu, and he will give him a correct report. Are you getting?
Yes.
So infrastructure in this country is what opens ways and pave ways for development, including transportation of our products.
We're gonna kill it. We're gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap up right there. That is Engineer Kimori Evans. He's a GenZ advocate. It's all about popular discontent and the politics of Maandamano. He's been part of the team, or that's been going around auditing, the projects that were launched by the president.
Very insightful talk with
himself and Morara leading that conversation, leading that whole initiative. Good stuff, man. Good stuff, Engineer Kimori Evans.
Thank you.
You guys are doing a good job, man. And Leleni Ivo.
Yes.
All right. So when we come back, we'll give you guys some facts in the next hour. Plus, you should look forward to a fire mix courtesy of the brother DJ 10.
Of course.
DJ 10. I like that, man. Right now, I can see it's, what time is it now? About 4 minutes to 9. 20 Kazi. Good evening.
Pure golden sound and good talk. 94.